The Anacortes City Council meeting of 3 January 2022. Ms. Hunt, would you take the roll?
Mr. Carter?
Present.
Mr. Young?
Here.
Mr. Walters?
Here.
Ms. Cleland McGrath?
Here.
Ms. Moulton?
Here.
Mr. McDougall?
Here.
Ms. Hubick?
Here.
Thank you.
Would you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? Okay, first item on the agenda is oaths of office. We have a couple oaths to do, and I think I'm supposed to go first, Mr. Hoagland.
Yes, sir, that's correct. So we'll start with you, and then we'll just go through the other positions in order. Ms. Hubick? Ms. Moulton? Mr. Young? Ms. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Yes, and I know Mr. McDougall is also on the list, but he's obviously already sworn an oath to be a councilman, and we'll be able to do his sometime later. So he's still good to go. It's always great to take that oath, and I'm honored to have taken it, and I'm honored to be here with all of you who have taken the oath to continue serving our great city. And I've got one more thing as far as governance goes, just a real quick thing. I wanted to thank Mayor Gear for and the staff for a very smooth turnover as mayor. And just a real quick note, I did a little, a housekeeping in the office, but one thing that I left up in the office is a mission statement that's been there for now 3 mayors, and I'll read it briefly, and then that'll be it, and we'll move on to regular business. The mission statement says, "Our mission is to maintain and improve the quality of life reflecting community expectations through a focus on public participation and employees, mayor, council teamwork." And that's it. So that's pretty straightforward. So with that, over to Mr. McDougall for some Mayor Pro Tem duties. Mr. McDougall.
Thank you, Mayor Miller. Yeah, so the Mayor Pro Tem position is a position I've held the last couple of years, and it's a job where it's kind of acting as a substitute for the mayor if the mayor is unavailable on vacation, perhaps, or just simply unavailable to run a meeting, something like that. So duties of the Mayor Pro Tem are to stand in and chair city council meetings when the mayor is not available, to also be available to staff, say if the mayor is away. So for instance, when Mayor Gear was on vacation, I attended weekly staff meetings and things like that, and was available to field questions and that sort of thing. Another couple pieces of work that the Mayor Pro Tem does is really kind of ensure when we have sort of questionable circumstances where we may not know if we have enough council members available for a given meeting, to work to ensure that we're going to have quorum, or to notify the mayor, staff, if it looks like we're not going to have quorum for whatever reason. And then finally, the other main piece of work is that the Mayor Pro Tem assembles the city council committees, so assigns council members to committees, and generally works with the council members to do those committee assignments. So with that said, traditionally the Mayor Pro Tem is the next most senior city council member that has not served as Mayor Pro Tem previously. So with that said, I would like to nominate Councilmember Anthony Young to be our next Mayor Pro Tem.
Second.
Okay, we've got a motion for Anthony Young to be the next Mayor Pro Tem. Motion by Mr. McDougall, seconded by Mr. Carter. Ms. Hunt, would you take the vote?
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mr. Walters?
Yes.
Ms. Cleland McGrath?
Yes.
Ms. Moulton?
Yes.
Mr. McDougall?
Yes.
Ms. Hubick?
Yes.
Mr. Carter?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Mr. Young, and look forward to seeing all those council assignments and all that wonderful division of labor that makes everything run. So yeah, it might be a couple times of me adjusting of not voting here, so I appreciate you all being kind to me as I work through this. But I've got a couple announcements. We're on to item 4, announcements and committee reports. And the first big announcement is the snow response. I wanted to briefly talk about the snow response. As we all know, we probably got anywhere from 8 to 12 inches in 2 different storms, depending on where you live in town. And I just want to pass on a huge, huge thank you to all the departments that really chipped in, and just the feedback from the citizens. I'll sum it up with, thanking us for the snow response. It's been incredible, and it's the best they've seen in 20 years. But I'll highlight one comment from a citizen. "We thank you for plowing repeatedly to keep our roads safe and allow us to get in town for groceries and service. Please pass along our thanks to your crews and plow drivers. We appreciate them all." So that was a typical input. Some of the numbers, 842 hours of snow response, 24th of December through January 1st, with obviously our crews out Christmas evening, Christmas morning, Christmas evening, as well as New Year's Eve, so it's pretty impressive. 100 tons of salt, 200 tons of sand, and so with the thank yous, I'm going to go through and real quick highlight some great names from the snow and solid waste, just taking the phone calls, whether it's Shelly Jensen or Kathleen in ops phone support, Nicole Tesh doing the phone, and then Will Ludeman, can't say enough great things about him and his team, mainly are Brandon Lowry, Sabin Williamson, Ken Harrogate, Jason Tussinson, Dan Jones, Lance Jordan, Eric Pierce, Brandon Doe, Brent Smolsnick, John Kramer, Tanner McLaughlin, Cameron Page, Joe Ferris, Terry Nemeth, Chris Ewing, Jimmy Baker, Pete Farrell, Nicole Mitchell, John Lunsford, Scott Guthrie, Steve Phillips, Dan Martin, Carter Page, Ryan Harris, John Norris, Josh Robertson, Mike Ballard, Victor Zamora, Mac Jackson, Brandon Cruz, and John Dumas from the Port of Anacortes, because they allowed us to pile up the snow as a good way to have some laydown areas to get the snow out of the streets. So incredible appreciation for all the things the staff pitched in, whether they were streets department, water, sanitation, parks, equipment rental, fiber, facilities, everybody pitched in. It was a great effort, and there's more work to do as well, because my last announcement is solid waste. And there's a bunch of list of folks to thank there that have already said that they're willing to pitch in, because we got a lot of trash out there. And yes, we've been hearing about that, and know that those folks who got picked up on Monday, I already know that a lot of trash was picked up. So you get to double up on your trash this week. So if you're a Tuesday pickup, obviously get your trash out there. You can set your trash next to your regular bin, and it'll get picked up. Because as you know, we invested in the fancy machines to have one driver, but they have to we got to get an extra crew in there to pick up the bags. Just please make sure to tie off the tops of those extra bags, and you don't have to do city prepaid bags. So that's the good news, and what a time of year to have trash back up. But I know we'll get to it, and I know there's a lot of trash out there. So again, thanks to the great team out there, and we look forward to them cleaning the rest of it up. So thank you for that. All right, so I think that's all for me, except now to the other announcements and any other announcements and committee reports, which is still me. So the COVID-19 report. So kind of a change from the county. As of the 1st or the 2nd of January, Skagit County Public Health will no longer be providing daily online updates. Instead, Skagitonians are asked to refer to the statewide data dashboard for all COVID-related data. Just a couple of points I'll highlight. I think we all know there's all sorts of things going on, but from Skagit County, gladly no additional deaths reported, a couple of 10 additional hospitalizations since last report, and 367 new cases over a 7-day period. So again, it's going around pretty fast. On the good news side, 71.9% fully vaccinated, 80.3% partially vaccinated. So I think the vaccinations are definitely getting out there. But as we all know, over the holiday season, please wash your hands and stay home if you're sick. All right, that's the COVID-19 update. Public Works Committee, Ms. Moulton.
Mayor Miller, thank you. The Public Works Committee met just prior to this meeting. It was myself and Mr. Buckenmeyer and Ms. Tesh, and also Mayor Miller was there. So we talked about the engineering work plan for 2022. Our engineering division leader, Tim Homan, is doing the planning for the year. The engineering division is down 2 staff right now, but they are working very hard to keep up with everything, including the yearly overlay project, which starts in the west end of town and moves east, so that starts on Skyline. Also a couple of Cape Seal projects with help from the county. Those will be Whistle Lake Road, Haddon Road, and O Avenue. And these maps are regularly updated on the city website. So this new plan for 2022 is not on the website yet, but will be shortly. They're also getting the pavement condition index report that's done every third year to show us where we are in the general scheme of things and which roads need the most attention. So that's happening. There will also be water pipe replacements starting on Skyline and moving east also. So the idea is to have the water pipes replaced before the paving. So that's all to be done in order. There is also $300,000 in the 2022 budget for ADA improvements and sidewalks. Also, there will be a crack seal project on southbound R Avenue. And as always, they'll be working in the sewer and storm departments to control the discharge and where it goes. So that's always ongoing, especially with the large storm events we've had over the past several years, and we expect those to continue, unfortunately. And every 10 years, there is a new water system plan, and that's currently being addressed. And in the next month, we will be seeing an invoice come to council for about $450,000 over the next 2 years, and that's a necessary plan and project that we need to do to keep up with our system. We have applied as a city for funding from FEMA for disaster funding for up to $4 million for fixes for parks department things and water projects that have been affected by storms. So we will hopefully be getting a good chunk of that money. And our good news this evening was that the city of Anacortes won an award from the Washington State Department of Health for the 5th year our water treatment plant achieved excellence. So that's a big deal. So that was exciting. And our raw water pipeline and Clearwell project that you might remember from last year received an award of Best in State. So that's pretty awesome. And we're going to nationals. And that's it for Public Works. Thanks.
Thank you, Ms. Moulton. Great report. Let's see. Oh, there's an add-on. I think the HAS committee met. Anybody have a report there? Ms. Cleveland.
Yeah, thank you. So we actually, because of the holidays, the HACS committee, Ms. Moulton, Mr. Walters, and I met Sunday morning, January 2nd, just to continue to refine our presentation that we are going to do to council on January 10th. So next Monday, make sure to tune in, and we're going to be talking about kind of the assignment we received from council in 2021 to really look at where the gaps in community services are. And so we're going to do as brief of a summary, an overview as possible, and talk about where we're seeing those gaps and what our next steps are going to be.
Thank you. Okay, our next agenda item is public comment. Anybody in the audience like to address the council? Okay, anybody online? I see a few attendees. Anybody online, raise their hands, and I will figure out how to let you address the council with some help, probably. Okay, no hands raised, so we'll move on to our consent agenda. Council.
Mayor Miller,
Mr. Young.
I move we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
A motion by Mr. Young, a second by Mr. Carter to improve the consent agenda. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right, any other business for the good of the order?
Mayor Miller,
Mr. Young.
if I might, I just wanted to take this opportunity to say how delighted we are for the city to not only have our new members, but a new mayor. We look forward to working with you for the good of our city and moving things progressively forward. I think I'm so excited about the individual members of council, the team and the staff. You guys have really done a stellar job, and I'm looking forward to 2022 and going forward and figuring out how we serve the people of Anacortes and continue the good work that's been done in the past. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and again, welcome to Ms. Hubik to the council, and thanks for those kind words, and with no further business, I will adjourn the January 3rd City Council meeting. We're adjourned.